Probably the question I get asked the most is how much can I make doing DoorDash? Or DoorDash and Uber Eats and other side gigs combined together? How much money can I bring in? And really, the answer to that question is simple. You can make as much as you want to make, depending on how hard you want to work. Every month, I run through how much I made in the previous month. Now, my objective is to make $100 a day and make $2,000 a month. And I used to do that in Atlanta all the time. It was no problem. I could make more than $2,000 a month. But here in Foley, Alabama, now that I'm retired, I'm taking it a little bit easier. And I still have that goal, but I'm finding that I really don't make that much. I don't make the 2,000. I usually fall short every month. You can easily make more than what I'm making. It just requires you to put forth more time and more effort. So we'll jump right into the numbers. We made $1,684.42 total income doing things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Shipt. Shipt is actually one of my bigger money makers. That's delivering groceries to people or making other, shop and deliver type things. We drove 1,398 miles this month, and that's an average of $1.20 in pay per mile. Now, I call this out because it's important. Even though over the course of the last few months I've been making less total money revenue, the revenue seems to be getting smarter, especially this month. You'll notice on the right-hand side of the page, there's a profit, an hourly profit, after tax and gas. So that's after I paid my self-employment tax and after I paid for my fuel, I'm making $20.63 an hour this month, which is a significant improvement from previous months. So I think that what that says is I'm figuring out this area. I'm figuring out when the times to work are and when the times are to just sit at home. And so I'm not making as much, but when I'm out there, I'm making quite a bit. In fact, I only worked 23 days this month. And of those 23 days, each day, I only worked about 3.5 hours. So that's kind of the position I want to be in. I'm not actually looking to maximize my earnings. I really just want to make the amount I need to pay my bills and then have that other time be my time. And working about 3.5 hours a day, that's what being retired is about. It gets me enough time to get out of the house and just do some things. Let me run down the rest of the financials for you. So we went over the income and the mileage. We worked 78 hours, which works out to about 3.5 hours each day. We only worked 23 days. We only purchased $112 worth of gas this month. Of course, that gas cost also includes any commuting miles that I do, any personal use of my car. I just didn't have a lot of personal use of the vehicle this month. So that's good. I try and keep that under 10% of the total. So it was only 6.6% of the total. Well within my budget of $200 in gas. YouTube this month was one of the best months I've had on YouTube. We made just a little bit over $200 in 1 month. And that's just mostly because I had a couple videos that I dropped about tipping. And as much as, I might have seemed last month like I was obsessing about it, tips don't really matter that much to me. They're an important part of the revenue stream. But if you don't want to tip, don't tip. If you can't afford to tip, don't tip. I'm not going to get all upset about it. I delivered almost every order yesterday was no tip. But what's funny is things seem to work out because the one order that did tip was a huge, large order program tip. It was like $60. So I think everything just balances out. So yeah, I deliver no tip orders all the time. I primarily work by the hour, so I can't see if people are tipping ahead of time. And the by the hour, really in Foley, because most people tip, it works out pretty well. And at certain times, the pay is getting crazy. Last night, it was up to $20 an hour for the hourly pay rate, like a $3 peak pay. So it was $6 more an hour, $20 an hour. So grand total for revenue was $1,885.93 if you include the YouTube money. Obviously, I take a mileage deduction, so the net income is only $969. I pay self-employment tax of 15% on that, so that's $148. I save for a new car, which, by the way, I think we're getting really close to needing a new car, so I'm glad that we're saving that money. And then for car maintenance, we also put aside $125. I'll say it again. If you want to make more than what I just made here, all you have to do is instead of working 3 hours a day, work 8 hours a day. It's that simple. There might be some quiet times in there where you're not busy, but you can do a lot of things while you're waiting in between runs. I catch up on my, electronic mail. Did I just say electronic mail? How old am I? I catch up on, social media and things like that. Sometimes I'll get the car washed or vacuum it out. I'll pick up things at the store that I might need and just run personal errands in between when it gets slow. So there's things that you can do uh, when it's slow. So I appreciate your time and watching this video. Hopefully it explained to you how much I'm making when I'm doing my side gigs. This $1,600, it's about 50-50 between DoorDash and Shipt right now. You'll find that DoorDash has a lot more volume, but it doesn't really pay quite as well as Shipt does. But that's because with Shipt, you're doing a little bit of more effort. You're actually going in and shopping, grocery shopping in some cases for 30 minutes to an hour, and then delivering the groceries to the person's house. But the tips are usually better with Shipt as well because the customers understand that you're doing extra service there. You're not just picking up food at a restaurant and dropping it off. In this case, you've actually spent your time shopping for them. Thank you very much for watching again. Side Gig Guy out.